Good Thursday afternoon. It is August 27th, 2020. Tomorrow, Madden 21 comes out. So if you haven't pre ordered that or ordered it in general, make sure you do that or just go to the store and go get it. I ordered mine and it should be here soon. And I also pre ordered my Mamba Forever edition um, which, of 2K 21 also. So obviously, I said we would probably do Monday, Wednesday, Friday, but a lot of stuff happened after um, we did our show, especially last night, between the different leagues. Had to think real quick um, because of the shooting up in Wisconsin. So we're gonna get into this now. So 5 MLS games that were supposed to happen yesterday did not happen because of that. They boycotted it in postponement due to it. The shooting of Jacob Blake. That was one of the leagues that ended up um, doing stuff out of this whole um, shooting that happened. Um, the MLB also had a total of 3 games. Um, One of them was the Reds and Brewers that um, announced that they would not play at all last night. They will play today. There are some teams that are saying they might not play today in the MLB. And the Dodgers and Giants also said that they were not going to play last night. So they were this other team. And Mookie Betts and Clayton Kershaw were both supportive of the decision of it happening. Um, so that's really nice to see that they both supported it. And I am going to try and get through this because there is a lot actually. And um, let's see. I think this is mostly the NBA stuff. Okay. So yeah, the Mets first baseman was emotional after game last night. Um, or yeah, last night. He was thinking the most difficult part is to see people still don't care, and obviously he's talking about the cops, and um, it's it is sad that some people don't care still, and with those leagues and players taking away games from the fans and boycotting, it is actually good because it shows we have the power to show you this or do this. And it was also announced at 2 p.m. today that the Red Sox were considering boycotting their game against the Blue Jays, which is a 6:37 first pitch tonight, possibly. And then there was a developing story around 3 p.m. today, Eastern time. These times are all Eastern. That the Rangers and A's are going to be postponed. Um, we don't know if it's because of the virus or if it's because of them boycotting. So that's all the MLB news. We're going to do some quick NHL news, NHL news real quick. The Coyotes are going to have to forfeit 2 of their draft picks. They're going to have to forfeit their second round pick this year and their 2021 first rounder for violating the NHL's combine testing policies, which is, it's very, a very tough penalty. You're going to have to forfeit next year's first round pick, which, first rounders are always, usually a good pick. And they're obviously having to forfeit their second round this year. Next year, obviously, their first round will be expanded because they will have 32 teams next year. Let's see. And also in the NHL, the Wild's Matt Dumbiai. I'm sorry, I'm probably pronouncing that wrong. I know I am probably. Who is a founding member of the Hockey Diversity Alliance in the NHL, said that the decision to play Wednesday is sad and disheartening. I think a lot of the games had already been started, but it was announced at 2:30 Eastern time today that the Hockey Diversity Alliance announced that the NHL suspend all playoff games today, and I'm guessing they are going to, so they will probably not be in any NHL games today. That is, a mouthful kind of to say. Let's see. Where's that other one at that I saw? One of the Bruins players found out about the NBA boycotts too close to the start of their game to start any discussion about not playing. So that's also another reason why some of the games in the NHL were just kept going. Most likely they were going to just keep going. And then they were going to probably do it today like they are. We're going to move on to the NFL now, though. And Cam Newton says he absolutely does not feel like he has the starting job wrapped up despite taking most of the training camp reps. They are saying that it might be him and Stidham might go back and forth playing in certain situations. So that might be good, especially if Newton isn't still 100% yet. It's going to be interesting up there, but I do think after a while they will put Cam Newton excuse me, back at the starter position, and obviously we're also going to get that's in the wrong. The New York Giants, they're also boycotting the game. Again, the players said the team might sit out a game in the regular season to protest social injustice. I accidentally went into the wrong one. I was in the NBA and I was going to talk about the NFL. Sorry about that, y'all. We're going to come back to the Washington Redskins thing. Actually, we're going to talk about the Washington football team. A former employee says a lewd video of cheerleaders was made for owner Dan Snyder. So the NHL has, or not NHL. See, I'm starting to say all the different team or leagues at the same time. It later came out that day, I believe, that they were going to launch an investigation into him. Roger Goodell said that, which is going to be good. You might see it where they force him to sell the team because of it. But you don't know. We don't know yet because they're just starting it. So, excuse me. That's just a lot of more bad things happening for the Washington team. Bengals cornerback Mackenzie Alexander, who left the team Tuesday after his father was reported missing and is still missing, has been arrested for battery. An arrest report was obtained Wednesday by ESPN. Alexander, 26, and another man arrived with law enforcement at a home of the victim. So, not good for the Bengals as they have one of their players arrested. So, let's see. Did I already? Running back for the New England Patriots, that's in his second year, Damian Harris is reported to be excelling in camp and has a clear path towards possibly starting on opening day. So that is looking good for them as they are finding their new up-and-coming future star running back possibly. Okay, so also this was at about 2 o'clock Eastern time today. There are a total of 7 teams now that have throughout today have decided that they will not be practicing at all. That includes the Colts, Jets, Titans, Cardinals, Bears, Packers, and the Washington football team. They decided in response to the police shooting of Jacob Blake that they will not practice today. Vice President Mike Pence. Oh wait, no, that'll be in basketball talk. We'll get to that. But yeah. But we're going to, I guess now we are actually going to get into basketball talk a little. Obviously, the first teams that we're talking about the boycotting decisions were Raptors and Celtics. The boycott of their first game on today. As we're going to get into that in a little bit with the games for the NBA in general. And obviously the first game that was announced that it was not happening anymore was the Bucks game as they decided to boycott their game 5. And the Magic were not told about this at all. And then the NBA later announced at 5:30 that the Bucks, Magic, Rockets, Thunder, Lakers, Blazers games 5 were postponed due to in light of the Bucks boycott. So that's all what happened last night. It's all because the Bucks not wanting to play and boycotted it. It also came out yesterday that Paul George of the Clippers has been dealing with anxiety and depression inside the NBA bubble. So this is, obviously something serious, but it's also something that we are finding out that is, happening due to them being away from their families in this environment where they only see their teammates and other players from other teams and playing, almost every other day, 5 days a week or 7 days a week. They're practicing, they're playing. He's not, handling it well, possibly. Um, the WNBA also announced Wednesday night that they were going to postpone all their games in part of protest in the police shooting. They also had a video that they were that was a kind of a statement saying, they were, doing this to partner with their brothers in the NBA. This NBA had a league meeting of the board of governors this morning. It came out that they are actually going to resume. Let's see. They're going to resume on Friday or this weekend, I believe. Yeah. They are going to resume the playoffs. I believe it's this weekend. Now, about the vice president, Mike Pence, he is going to, his chief of staff has called the NBA protests absurd and silly, is what Mike Pence's chief of staff has said. That I guess Mike Pence might have said, or is this his own personal opinion? And then Jared Kushner says he'll try and reach out to LeBron James. Honestly, I don't think LeBron is going to listen to Kushner, and I don't think any of the NBA players or any of the professional athletes give a damn about what Vice President Pence or his chief of staff or what Trump say about standing for the anthem or any of that. Because I know that's what they were trying to talk about in the Republican National Convention earlier this week, and that's exactly the opposite of what they want to do. They're not going to stand. They don't need to. It's their protest. It's exactly what Colin Kaepernick was doing. I have a teacher that is a vet. He said him and a lot of other veterans support what Colin Kaepernick was doing and what the players are doing right now. So it's actually counter-contradictory to what a lot of people are saying. So Mike Pence and the president are not on the right side of this. Even if you think the opposite and you agree with Pence and Trump, well, that's fine. That's your own opinion. But that's as political as we're getting right now. I know people are going to say, well, we shouldn't get sports and politics together. They go together. Deal with it. The 3 NBA games that were going to be today have been postponed. Also, as I think they're not going to start up either till tomorrow night or Saturday. Also, all the WNBA games are also off tonight. So, let's see. Don't really need to talk about that. Lakers and Clippers, out of all the 30 teams in the NBA, were the only 2 that voted not to continue the NBA season, which is interesting. The 2 LA teams did it. It might be because they want to start, getting people back home already, especially after what came out from Paul George. Damian Lillard is going to return back to Portland for his knee injury. And Jenny Buss, of the owner of the Lakers, is in full support of the players also. And let's see. Okay. Looks like we're going to talk some WWE real quick, and then we're going to finish off with some NCAA, and then we're going to be done for the day. So, his on the Indies, he was Killer Cross, but supposedly he suffered a separated shoulder on Saturday's NXT Takeover 30, and he had to relinquish the NXT Championship, and they will hold a fatal four-way 60-man Iron Man match for the title next Wednesday. I don't know why the notification said next Tuesday, because NXT is on Wednesdays unless they're having a special episode on Tuesday. Then in the NCAA, Georgia wide receiver Damian Baylock suffered a torn ACL in his left knee and will be out for the rest of the season. It's interesting that we're seeing some injuries already from some of the teams that are playing, that are deciding to play still. But I think that's it. Make sure you tune in to our show next week or tomorrow, most likely. I have a doctor's appointment in the morning, so it might be later like this. And just subscribe, notification bell, and Instagram. And have a good rest of your day. Stay safe. Until next time.